So guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm already sat in the car and the car is already running because it's just started raining. Every time I get in a Mark 8 GTI R variant, it rains every single time. But good test for this car, because I want to ask the question today, is this a proper GTI? Is this the GTI you should be buying? I am going to say this from the start. I said it in the last videos about GTI products. I'm a GTI fanboy, love a Golf GTI. And the Mark 8, I know I say I'm a fan of a lot of cars, but I am genuinely very smitten by one of these Mark 8 GTIs. It's such a good car. But make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel below. But almost to some B roads. Let's go that way. So in my opinion, as we exit the lay-by, this is one of the best cars you can put your money on in 2021 in new cars. I believe that the GTI is still one of the best hot hatches. The Fiesta ST is phenomenal, but this isn't really in the same realm as an ST. Pricing, it's expensive. New cars are expensive, we understand that. But is it a proper GTI? That's the question. So to put it in all of its modes, again, it is slightly raining, it is getting clear that way. So we'll work our way towards the clear weather, shall we? And we'll put it in mode, put it in sport, put the gearbox in sport. The car sort of bursts into life at this point. You can feel it change. The tone changes. You know, it's piped in the system, don't get me wrong, but... Now, it's not going to rip your face off. GTIs are not meant to rip your face off. I'm saying that from the start. They're meant to be a front-wheel drive riot in comfort and for you to enjoy. I think VW and the GTI product name is carried on really, really well into the Mark 8. The chassis itself feels really, really good to throw around. I think the power is adequate. Of course, you could modify this in years to come. If you're watching this years after I've shot this in 2021, you'll understand that, you know, this car right now isn't that modified because there isn't too many modifications out there. I was actually talking to the owner. He said that, you know, I've been looking at maps and various other, you know, people, exhausts and that. There is exhaust for the R. There is, I think, mapping for the R. Not a lot for the GTI though. Exhausts are relatively expensive as well. You know, a new car it's going to be. There's not too many mapping options for the GTI to get more potential out of it. Of course, years to come, it's going to open up a book of GTI performance parts and, you know, tuning abilities for this software that they've been putting into the Mark 8s. But at the moment, currently as I'm shooting this, there isn't too much out there. So unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, this car hasn't got any mapping or anything on it. It's just the standard power. But if this does ever get a remap, if it does ever get an exhaust system, I will be back to shoot it. Don't worry about that. You know, the torque is really low down. I forgot how low the torque is, and that really helps you throughout the corners. If you're throwing this thing around, and you'll notice, if you ever do, the front end grip is phenomenal on this car. It's so good. But as you do bury your foot, pulls itself round out of the corner. I just feel like, to me, the Golf GTI, to me this is, you know, personal experiences, it should do a lot of things. It should be the Swiss Army knife of cars, where you can enjoy it. It can be enjoyable. It's powerful, but not powerful so you don't have a good MPG figure. It needs to be comfortable. It needs to be relatively affordable. Yes, cars are very expensive these days, unfortunately. So you are tapping on the door of, you know, mid-30s for one of these. And it needs to be big enough so everyone can get in it. Again, I've had a little, you know, nose around this thing. There's a kid's seat literally right behind me, so that sort of proves a point there. Big enough boot. It needs to be, again, the Swiss Army knife of cars, and it is. It is so good that, as we go past the little horse, see right now, she said thank you. Right now, this car is, again, a Swiss Army knife. I'm enjoying it, but it's not too loud that when we cruise past the horse, slow down, and we can let the horse come past, and then we can drop a gear as the horse is completely outside. There is a 60 sign in front of me. You can drop a gear in second, throw your power to the floor, and as a corner comes up, you slow yourself down with a very good braking system, and it is just fantastic to drive. that front end is as good as the Type R, actually. The Honda Civic Type R, if you've driven one of those, it's as good as that, and that is a shout, because that is one of the best front-wheel drive cars I've ever driven. So guys, pulling over my side of the road, let's have a quick look round this Mark 8 Golf GTI. I'm a GTI fanboy, already said it a couple of times in this video, so please be very aware that I really like Golf GTIs anyway. The Mark 8 came out, we shot it a few times, you know, different variants, Club Sport, GTI and R, and it's really nice to revisit this platform. Looking round the car, more and more people out there are starting to come round to the idea of this car actually looking really good. Now we're going to start at the rear end, because I think this is the part that I sort of glossed past last time. GTI badging in the centre, again controversial at the time, but I think people are already growing to like that. I like it. I know it's not a traditional, you know, to the side sort of GTI logoing, but I like it. This one's actually got a Maxton design kit around it. I haven't seen many with the Maxton design kit. That's the only modification that's actually been done to this, but it includes this rear spats and slight rear diffuser just at the back here. You have a top spoiler here, which again creates a lot more depth to this rear end. I do like that it comes up and then down and then over. That looks really cool. Tinted windows on this one as well. It has this side skirt just going down here, and coming round the front of the car, it has this larger splitter, which in my opinion makes the front end of the car. With the front end though comes these headlights with the red strip going across into the headlights and at the front. Really like that, but I always think just putting a slight splitter kit on a car really creates so much more depth, and it shows off more of the curves like these ones coming round here. Actually makes this front end, although deeper, it makes you notice a bit more, especially round here, and all of the really cool hexagon grills going down. On the last video of the Mark 8 we shot, I actually said about the fog lights. They're such a cool fog light on these, with the 5 lights just in the bumper. Let me know what you think in the comments below. This one actually has a pan roof. As you can see, I've popped it up today. Really impressed with how the pan roof is working out. Doing, you know, motorway speeds, you know, country road speeds, say 60 just down there. Couldn't really notice anything different in the cabin. But styling wise, I like it. I think it looks very GTI-esque. And again, I am a fanboy for the GTIs, so I will say that this looks good. The red striping, the lights, the wheels work as well. Again, I wasn't too sure about the wheels, but I think with the splitter kit, it works. Tinted windows, this being a 5-door variant as well, I think it just looks cool. Inside, as I've already covered in the previous GTI video, such a nice place to be in. Everything's sort of touchscreen now, or touch button at least. Just like the steering wheel here, heated steering wheel. You can go through all your modes and various things. GTI clocks are a massive shout as well. They look so cool. I love that it says GTI with the honeycomb just behind it. Automatic lights down here, but you can press it all on. And just down here, very minimalist, as I've already said in the previous video, but yeah, you've got all of your sport, comfort, eco and various settings going through there. Climate just there as well. Really easy to sort of get hold of and understand when you're with the car, but I think when you initially get in one of these, you are like, where's the buttons, where's the buttons? Very simple down here as well. You literally put your foot on the brake and put her into drive, because we're on start stop at the moment. Really easy car to live with, I think. And also a cool thing to point out is the roof. You literally swipe and it opens. No touching of the buttons, you literally swipe. But let's jump back in this thing, go and sum up my thoughts of the Mark 8 GTI. This is standard power and it's still quick in my opinion. I think it's a quick little car. For your British B-roads, I get it. I did a A35 AMG a few weeks back on the channel, and I thought, do you know what? This is just enough. It is the right amount of performance and everything for the UK. If you're not in the UK, our roads are really small. They're usually, you know, crowded with things happening, or, you know, people and mud and horses and whatever. So to enjoy a car, you don't need loads of power. You need an in-between of power, ability to come on boost straight away like that, fantastic ability to come on boost, and it needs to be really good to drive at a lower rate, 30, 40, 50 miles an hour. You're never really that far away from those figures, in my opinion, from, you know, my roads around me. You're under 60, 70 miles an hour pretty much everywhere. You need to enjoy a car at that pace, which is what the GTI is. And to answer my question at the start, this is a proper GTI. I will, as I've said in the past, own one of these when they come down in price. It will happen. They are fantastic. And from this car, you know, jump from car to car, I've done quite a few shoots recently, so I really appreciate this for what it is, this car. It is laid out well. Yes, you don't have buttons, like proper buttons, but no new car has proper buttons these days. It has touchscreen pretty much everywhere, which, you know, when you get to understand it, the buttons that you would press are all automatic now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's not all singing and dancing, launching everywhere, doing 400 miles an hour, but it will get you safely just in a riot of front wheel drive goodness is what this is. It is such a fantastic car. And yeah, I will own one day. I will, promise. Maybe not an 8, maybe a 7, maybe a 5. We'll see. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you all on the next one.